Here we are in North Frontenac Little Theatre's very own Tichburn Hall on this beautiful summery September day with NFLT Lifetime Recognition Award honorees Doug and Linda Boulter. So nice to have you here today.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Now,
I joined in with the first group with Harvey.
Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay, who else was in that?
Oh, that was Glenn.
Glenn Fossey.
Glenn Fossey.
Yeah, that was marvelous to be with him. He was a real pro. He added it there. So that was.
But every actor's nightmare, but it's
yeah,
pretty impressive when you have that.
You had to be sharp with Glenn because
Yeah.
you never knew what he was going to do.
He was so good.
Yeah.
And which role did you have in that one?
I was Wayne Wilson. I was the bouncer in the asylum. So.
Yeah. What about you, Linda?
I didn't start at the same time as Doug. He was the one who had that desire. But I came in 1990, I think. My first play was Oliver.
Okay.
So that's when I came on board as far as doing anything specifically with North Frontenac Little Theatre.
Yeah. Doug, I met you the first time, I believe, on the set of Oklahoma, 1987, a great play. But it was during a very sad period for the Little Theatre. Fellow actor Morris Lowry passed away unexpectedly, just a few short weeks before the opening night, and we were all shaken to the roots. It was just an unexpected tragedy. After we sort of dusted one another off, I think John Paracelli decided, well, let's do the show dedicated to Morris. And you got a phone call. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was in the middle of planning a grade 8 field trip or whatever for a few days up north. So I was kind of torn when John called. I said, well, I have to take this group of kids, and I think we're going up north to really Midland, wherever. And I said, I'll think about it. I'll talk to my vice principal and see if we can cover it. So graciously, he said, yeah, I'll take the kids. He said, it's something that looks like you need to do with your little theater group. And so it was an interesting way to do it. I was a colleague of Morris's, so that was, we kind of didn't team teach, but we taught in rooms beside each other at Hinchinbrook. And so I thought, yeah, that's something I'd like to do and keep the play going, because you guys have worked so hard at getting it off the ground. I did it over 2 weeks, and I thought, okay, I can do this. I can come home from school, and I had 2 hours to rehearse at home, practice, and then go up to rehearsals at the hall. And did that steady, but there's something to be said for that method, because it's very intense.
Yeah.
Because it's not like rehearsing every other day. You're in it every day. And the emotional involvement that I had, because of the situation of losing Morris, I think made the part stronger for me. Because it was a villainous role, of course, with Judd Fry. And I'd have to say that was my most memorable role that I did.
Wow.
So, but I have to give you a little aside here. Rick Cairns was doing the orchestra.
Yes.
And Rick was also the sound effects man.
Oh.
So there was a very intense scene where I was so angry. I was sitting there and got upset, and I had a gun. And it was, so I had to fire this gun in anger. So one of the evenings I go like this, fire it, and nothing happened. Because Rick said misfired in the orchestra. Well, immediately after I did that, I did it again.
Yeah. And
Rick did it again, right on cue. He didn't see me do it, I didn't see him do it. And the audience had a bit of a snicker over it. But the timing was just immaculate. I don't think we lost the emotion of it.
Yeah.
It was so quick.
Yeah, well, those sorts of things are hilarious and really make the play. I've had the pleasure of working with you in a few plays, Sound of Music and Brigadoon, But I've told you this, I've never had so much fun as when we did See How They Run. And you played the lovely role of the church-going busybody, if I might say. Prude, Miss Skillen.
Yeah.
And of course, the most hilarious scene was when you ventured into the Reverend Toop's home and somehow got into the cooking sherry and ended up in quite a state on the couch when I entered, Roman collar and all. Tell me, what's it like playing Olash, and how do you prepare for that role?
Oh, it was so much fun because through the years being taught, and I have to say, John Paracelli and Ani were so good at you developing a character. Who are you? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? You know, and I just got in it. And for me, it was when I put on the suit.
Yeah.
Because I had bought this suit that was so prudish and prim and proper, and when I put that thing on, I became her.
Yes.
But yes, to go in, and of course, you know, I am a Christian, and I do attend church and all of that, but to get out of that box and say, you know, like, you know, singing hymns when you're totally drunk, you know, and the bloomers, I had to wear bloomers because in one of the scenes, I had to fall down, like faint away, and just, I went, and of course my skirt went up, and I did, I had like old granny bloomers on, those were so much fun, but just become her. Well, Yenta was my baba. I am of Ukrainian descent, and some of her personality and, of course, some of her gestures and mannerisms, that's what I took to be Yenta. So I just loved doing that, and that actually was the first time that I auditioned for a role and then got it. But can I tell you a little bit about being Yenta with Pam?
Yes.
Because I love the character.
The part of Golda.
Well, in one of the scenes, Yenta comes and there's this plate of cookies that Golda is holding. And for me to get that cookie and deliver my lines, because it was a whole monologue at that point for me, do you think I could get that? I could not take a cookie and talk at the same time. And it was just driving me crazy. So Pam graciously said, Linda, come on up to tea one day and we'll just take the afternoon and we'll just practice that scene. And that's exactly what we did. That whole cast, I mean, we really did have the feel of where we were and who we were. So, and as I say, I was drawing on some of my background history, so for me it just felt a comfortable place.
Yeah, that's neat. I like that personal connection with forming that character. First, I want to make sure we bring up one of your most entertaining roles that when I was thinking of what you've done with us, that was, I think, the role that I'd like to win most, Mr. Bumble himself in Oliver.
Okay.
Please, sir, I want some more.
More? Take it down! Snatch it!
Oh, let's
Scold him!
bounce him, trounce him, pick him up, bounce him.
Wait! Before we put the boy to task, may I be so curious as to ask his name? Oliver! Never before has a boy wanted more.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. And there again, as Linda said, with the costuming, we actually went in and rented a costume, a town crier costume, so that I could feel the part for that. I still remember when he fell into the casket or hid in the coffin there, and I was banging on it to say, Oliver, are you in there, Oliver? You know, and he would just be screaming away, and it was fun.